Sportscast. Star Wars Day, May 4th, 2020. If you haven't yet, subscribe in all our channels, Periscope, iTunes, and YouTube. And if you're on iTunes, please leave it in and review. It'll help us out tremendously. And visit us on thesportscast.net, thesportscast.net for the latest and greatest. Today's episode is brought to you by InstaBible app. Create versus. You can get the InstaBible app on the iOS App Store. Today, Coach Shula has passed away at the age of 90, according to his children. One of the greatest coaches that the Miami Dolphins has ever had, probably the best coach ever. And joining us today, we haven't had him since last year, I believe. Chandler Christa, relation to Ryan Christa. Welcome back to the Sportscast.
What's going on?
Chandler, tell me what's going on in your world lately. What's happening with the whole pandemic and high school? Tell us a quick 5 minutes.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like I'm a senior in high school right now. And, I play on the baseball team, and our season's been taken away from us because of this whole coronavirus. And it kind of stinks because, this is supposed to be, our best season. Our team, we won the sectional championship last year, so we were going to have a pretty good year. And then all of a sudden, on March 15th, everything just went down the tubes.
What sport do you play?
Baseball.
Baseball, and what is your position?
I'm a first base and pitcher.
Okay, so what was the school record? Was your season started? Was it where was the season before? This whole pandemic started.
Well, yeah. Our season, we started practice March 1st, I think it was. Yeah, March 1st.
Uh-huh.
So we got 2 weeks of practice in. And then this all happened, and all of a sudden they told us we can't practice anymore.
Well, there you have it. So there's no hunch, or there's no possibility for school to start back, or also having baseball starting back anytime soon.
Actually, our governor announced that Friday that all of our schools are closed for the rest of the year. So
well, there you have it. But will that include also for the fall, or just like the springtime?
Well, they don't know yet about what's going on for the fall. I think they're going to make an announcement, probably not till August, I think, which kind of stinks, but
it's a long time.
I don't know what's going to happen in the fall.
Well, hopefully baseball will come back either in high school or in Major League Baseball in the fall time. What are your plans for college?
I'm going to SUNY Delhi. It's towards close to New York, and I'm going to study hotel and restaurant management.
That is right near New York City. I think that's about 1 hour away.
It's a couple hours away. Yeah,
couple hours. Yeah, we had an interview 2 weeks ago with a kicker named Nick Mangelli. He graduated from SUNY somewhere. I think it was in Long Island, but there's a few SUNY schools around New York. So,
oh wow, really?
Yeah, there is. There's a couple campuses. I guess it is what it is. Anyways, let's get into the sportscast. Don Shula died at 90 years old. There was a statement this morning by the Miami Dolphins. Shula was the patriarch of the Miami Dolphins for 50 years. He brought the winning edge to our franchise and put the Dolphins and the city of Miami in the national sports scene. Our deepest thoughts and prayers go out to Mary Ann along with his children, Tave, Anna, and Mike, and Miss Heron. Obviously, Don Shula was one of the greatest coaches in NFL history. He was known for leading the unbeaten Miami, the unbeaten Dolphins back in 1972, and won the Super Bowl. The Dolphins are the only team in the NFL history to finish an entire season undefeated. Chandler, what do you remember? What are your thoughts about him? And what do you remember about, with Coach Shula?
I don't remember much about him because I think he was gone for the coaching team from when I started. But I remember watching him coach the Dolphins games on YouTube and stuff, and that was pretty amazing. He led him to undefeated season. He really brought the Miami Dolphins into the scene in football and all that. Yeah,
Don Shula, he brought the Dolphins, into an undefeated season. That was what they were known for. Back in 72, only had 13 games. So it was not as hard as as of right now, where you have to win 16 games plus the playoffs, around like 17, 18 games. So, but the Patriots almost did it back in 2007.
They did. That was really close. That was like I'm not a Patriots fan. Like I can't really stand them to be honest. But like that was good for them.
Yeah, and of course Don Shula coached throughout all the way to the early '90s. He was around. Well, he coached also Dan Marino, one of the greatest quarterbacks. But
by far.
But he took him to the Super Bowl. But Dan Marino just couldn't win it. Some people say that Don Shula was too old school after like the '70s. He never progressed with his coaching or his game.
I mean, I could see where they're coming from by this, but like I would say he's still going to go down as like a legendary coach. And is he in the Hall of Fame yet?
I believe he is. I can double check on that, but he probably is. I mean, he is the most winning coach, more than Bill Belichick.
Yeah, he's won the most games as the NFL coach, which is pretty freaking amazing.
Yeah. Of course, with Don Shula passing away after he left, we had
a lot of coaches.
A lot of coaches afterwards. Jimmy Johnson, Dave Wanstead, and now we have Brian Flores. So it'd be hard to top Don Shula as one of the greatest. He also was a player for the Cleveland Browns, Baltimore Colts, and the Washington Redskins.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Before the Dolphins, he coached the Detroit Lions and then the Baltimore Colts. And that's when.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Before the Ravens and before the Indianapolis Colts, and of course he was with the Dolphins from 1970 to 1995. So, 25 years of coaching. You can't do that now, coaching for that long.
No, that's not going to happen. I don't see that happening for a lot of these NFL coaches because they come and go so fast.
Yeah, like Bill Belichick is at the 20th mark with the Patriots. Do you think he could coach for 5 more years?
I would say it all depends how the Patriots do this year. I think if they have one bad year, they've had so much success, but I feel like if they have one bad year, I think Belichick's just going to be gone.
Which could happen. I mean, now that you don't have Tom Brady, which you only have Stidham, I'm really curious what the Patriots are going to do. Of course, the AFC East is not that difficult, but I can see the Bills winning it. But
I could see the Bills definitely winning this.
Which you're near Buffalo. I mean, what?
Like an hour and a half. You got to represent. I mean, I like the Bills. They're my home team, but Cowboys all the way.
But you think what are you hearing? Like you think this new Bills team could go all the way?
I would say Josh Allen. He has a pretty good squad. I would say Sean McDermott and Josh Allen. I think they can lead the Bills pretty far. Definitely winning the division. I think because if you really think of it, Brady's gone. They really don't have much competition. Like the Jets or the Dolphins, they're not really something to worry about.
Yeah, because the Dolphins just got Tua Tagovailoa. He's not going to start this season, I hope. And then you got the New York Jets with Sam Darnold, which they picked up. I think they picked up a wide receiver. They select Mekhi Becton. That's like the first round. But they're not a team to worry about. So pretty much for second place is between the Jets and the Patriots. I would think the Patriots might take second place in the AFC East.
I think the Bills definitely have first place, though.
Oh, yeah, for sure. They for sure are the team of the future.
The Bills, they've had some rough patches.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, would definitely agree with that. But R.A.P. to Mr. Shula. I know that he was pretty old, 90 years old, and I know that his time was coming soon. But I really hope that the NFL will do something special when the preseason comes around, or when I would say the Miami Dolphins will probably have some type of special ceremony at the start of the season or something.
Yeah, I could see that happening. Who knows if the NFL is even going to happen, to be honest.
Yeah, which goes into our next segment. The NFL came out with some news about the schedule, not the final schedule. They announced to be no international games due to the pandemic, so no London games or no Mexico games.
It makes sense, though.
Yeah. And in the statement, The NFL League announced today that it will schedule all 2020 games in the United States in order for the entire season to be played in the NFL team stadium under consistent protocols focused on the well-being of players, personnel, and fans. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell made the decision after consultation with our clubs, national and local governments, the NFL Players Association, medical authorities, and international stadium partners. After considerable analysis, we believe the decision to play all our games domestically this season is the right one for our players, our clubs, and all our fans in the U.S., Mexico, and UK, said NFL Executive Vice President, Chief Strategy and Growth Officer Christopher Halpin. We greatly appreciate the support of our government and stadium partners in Mexico and the UK, who all agree with this decision, and we look forward to returning the games in both countries in the 2021 season. Was this a smart decision, Chandler, for the NFL to do this?
I would say yeah, because you don't know what's going on in the world right now. With all these things going on, like the coronavirus and stuff, it's really bad out there. And I think the NFL staying in the United States would be better because you don't want to have to go to let's say you go to another country to play a game and then someone catches the virus from there and then they bring it back to the United States. Then they affect all these other teams. It's just not a good situation.
Not a good situation, of course. I know the United Kingdom is going through a lot of a struggle of that, same as Mexico. It's worldwide. I would have loved to see them played at the new Tottenham Stadium, which was open this past year.
Yeah, that would be a really nice thing to see, but unfortunately, we just got to wait till the 2021 season.
The NFL had been planning to play one game in Mexico City at Azteca Stadium and 4 games in London, 2 at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, as we were talking about, and 2 at Wembley Stadium during the 2020 season. The Arizona Cardinals, Atlanta Falcons, Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Miami Dolphins had all previously announced that they would be home teams for international series games in 2020. These teams will now play all at their home games this season at their home stadium in the United States. I like to see. I'm not a fan of the international. I think, it was cool to see the stadiums and see some new fans, but
I don't really like it.
It kind of takes away the people that have season tickets,
because people, they get lost out of the whole game. They should, that screws them over.
Exactly. And, of course, it's just not a home game. Yeah, it's like the Miami Dolphins official home game, but it's a neutral ground, pretty much.
It's no good, yeah.
Your favorite team is who again?
Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys. They don't host a game internationally, don't they?
Yeah, I don't think they ever have. I think there's been talks about them doing the London game, but Jerry Jones actually made a statement saying he doesn't want to take a home game away from him, so he said he'll never play internationally. I
wouldn't either. I would not either because think about it. Dallas Cowboys Stadium or AT&T Stadium is probably one of the best stadiums in the world, not just here in America, but in the world.
Oh yeah, it's just words can't describe how amazing it is.
Now, towards the end of the week, the NFL will release their schedule for next season. There has been rumors about starting in September regularly, or at the latest starting in October. Chandler, what do you think is going to happen?
I think the NFL is going to pull a twist. They sing all these things, but I don't think the NFL. They said there's a whole new 17-game schedule. I don't think they're going to do that this year. And I could see the first game not starting till earliest October.
I do agree. I think they said the latest will be October 15th, and then the Super Bowl will be at the last weekend of February.
I don't know how it's risky playing late into February because that's where if you play outside, that's where snow comes and stuff.
True. And I think, I believe next year's Super Bowl will be in Tampa. So it would not, Tampa does not have snow
that's
issues.
Around where you are, right?
Yeah. So, it'll be cooler weather, but it won't be any blizzards or any snowstorms. But
that could be interesting to see the Buccaneers making the Super Bowl. That
could happen. Now, what if the AFC Championship game was in Buffalo in the middle of February? What are the chances for snow to happen?
I would say the chances are very high, but I think it would be kind of fun to watch these teams play in the snow. I kind of like watching the snow because the game's a whole lot different. It's just fun to watch them play in the snow.
It's harder. It's tougher. The ball. How hard is the ball? Is it is it pretty tough and hard?
I would, because I played pickup football in the snow before, and it's definitely it's definitely hard, but it's definitely like it's a lot more running plays. You don't really throw the ball very much.
Yeah. So I think what's going to happen, no matter what, NFL will start at the latest in October. But will there be fans?
That's the $1 million question. I mean, to be honest, like I really don't think there's going to be fans this upcoming NFL season.
I think what they can do is either have limited amount of fans, so instead of like 85,000, have 30,000.
Yeah.
Or at 25% of the stadium, of course, all social distanced and having wearing them a mask, or completely empty and just play them at the training facilities.
Just play the game at the training facilities, you think?
Like most of these training facilities, like the fields are as big as the stadium fields, right?
That would be. I've never heard of that. That would be a pretty interesting thing to do, though.
Keep it condensed. There's no point of opening up a whole stadium for no one to be there. You just have staff. I guess each team will have 100 people, per sideline, plus the players, 100. It'll be like 50 players and 50 staff members. I believe that's about the right number. Yeah, about 100. And then testing people is going to be difficult, but I guess they'll just have to do it ahead of time.
The other $1 million question is, if they play with no fans, will these games still be on TV?
Oh, probably. Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's so many deals going on. Absolutely. There's just no. The TV deals is pretty much pays a lot. A huge chunk to the NFL, and they need the TV deals happening, which they just signed. Amazon just had a new deal with the NFL this past week.
Really?
So, that's probably a huge chunk of the NFL revenue. Would I watch it? Yeah, but maybe October, November there'll be no fans, but maybe for December, January they'll allow to have fans.
Yeah, I think it's like half and half type thing.
Yeah, slowly mesh it in, see how it is. Obviously, yes, the wintertime is when the flu and these viruses kind of kick in a little bit. But most of the states have this thing prepared. They do have, by then there'll be more resources to handle any big pandemic. Of course, it's not perfect, but...
Yeah, are you in Florida?
Yes, I'm in Florida.
So, what are you guys, what's your governor, what's going down there?
Well, majority of the state's open, minus where I'm at, minus Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Palm Beach. So it's still closed till further notice. Hopefully by mid-May we might be open. But up north in Orlando and Tampa, only restaurants could only have 25% of people in the restaurant. So which is not bad. But we're getting our gears together. We have plenty of a whole lot of sites to test, a whole lot of testing sites, and I think we're just getting better. I think throughout every day they're always adding new stuff. There's more. We're all more way more prepared. New York as well. They're way more prepared. But gosh, I can't see a stadium full of fans at the Meadowlands anytime soon.
No, New York City is definitely. New York's got hit in the hardest in the whole country.
Yeah, that's going to be that's a big no for the Jets and Giants, but other places, even like L.A. as well is another big part, and of course San Francisco. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully, we'll find out towards the end of the week what the NFL is going to do. What I've heard, they're going to release the whole 17-game schedule. But they do have contingency plans if they think by September, August, they don't think that they're able to start by then. So I think no matter what, they're going to start.
The question is once those games, if you let's say you postpone them or reschedule them, what do you do? How do you decide playoffs?
I think they're just going to have to push everything back by 2-3 weeks.
So just push them back,
or they shorten the season by 2 games.
I could see them just playing 15 games.
15, and that's great for health. That's players will be like, this is how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Breaking news this past weekend: Andy Dalton is going to the Cowboys. Signed a 1-year deal for $7 million, I believe. Chandler, you're a Cowboy fan. Were you surprised?
Oh yeah. What did you say? I'm sorry.
Were you surprised with this signing of Andy Dalton to the Cowboys?
See, when I first saw it, I didn't believe it, but then I saw it and I looked more into it, and I'm like, okay, this is like, I kind of feel bad for the guy because he went from being like a starter in the Cincinnati and doing pretty good to like going to be potentially a backup quarterback for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, it's okay, but like, I mean, I don't know. I feel like the Cowboys have a solid backup quarterback, I could say.
Do you think they're kind of pressuring Dak Prescott a bit? Like, hey, if you don't perform, Andy Dalton's right behind you.
Prescott's really mad about this, I bet, because Prescott's the one that he wanted a big deal signed and wanted all this money, and like they come in and bring in like a pretty veteran quarterback, you could call him, and like to be his backup quarterback, and like if Prescott has a couple bad moves, like he's out of there.
Which could happen.
Yeah,
it could happen.
It's gonna be interesting.
Andy Dalton signs a 1-year deal worth up to $7 million that includes a $3 million guaranteed. All this happened after the Bengals drafted Joe Burrow as the number 1 overall pick. Of course, they released him a few days later. But the Cowboys, they're pretty stacked. Had a great NFL draft. They picked up CeeDee Lamb.
The second best draft. Yeah.
And well, tell us a little bit about your thoughts over the NFL draft.
Like in the Cowboys or is the NFL draft?
The Cowboys, of course. What were your thoughts about their picks? They got CeeDee Lamb.
I would say they did pretty freaking good. That wide receiver, the CeeDee Lamb from Oklahoma, he's a pretty stacked guy. And they got some good, like I would say overall, they had a pretty good draft. They got their weaknesses. I think the wide receiver they got, CeeDee Lamb, I think he's going to be like the third or fourth wide receiver because they have Amari Cooper and stuff. But I think he's going to perform pretty well.
They also got Trevon Diggs, cornerback from Alabama.
That's a good pick.
One of the top corners of the college football. They also got Neville Gallimore, defensive tackle from Oklahoma. That was in round 3. Then they got Reggie Robinson, another corner. Wow, you guys got a couple of corners from Tulsa. Then they got Tyler Biadasz from Wisconsin. He's a center. And Bradley Ane from Utah, defensive end. Ben DiNucci, quarterback from James Madison. I don't think you'll use him much.
I don't think he's going to be.
But
he might not even make the team, to be honest.
Yeah, a lot of these players, they get signed afterwards or they get drafted, but typically they don't, they don't start or anything. But are the Cowboys contenders? Now they got Mike McCarthy. They got some good draft picks. They got Andy Dalton. Chandler, what are your expectations for the Cowboys this upcoming season?
I would say the Cowboys can make a run pretty freaking far this year.
Do they got the NFC East in the lock?
I think they do because, I don't know though because Philadelphia they picked up a good quarterback. Who was it?
They got Hurts from Oklahoma. Jalen Hurts, right? From not Alabama, from Oklahoma.
I don't know because I feel like Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback and all. I mean, I would like to see him start over Wentz. I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Right.
But I like Jalen Hurts. I liked him at his time. I would say he has a decent amount of talent. It's going to be interesting.
But it feels like I think the Cowboys, I think they're going to get this one. Mike McCarthy, are you a fan?
I am a fan. I like him a lot more than Jason Garrett. What is Jason Garrett even doing these days? No one wants him.
Isn't he a offensive coordinator for the Giants? No, right?
Oh, he might be, isn't he?
He might have get picked up, but he's not a head coach. I think people already blacklisted him to not be a head coach in the NFL anywhere.
They should have got rid of him a while ago, I think.
But Mike McCarthy did good in Green Bay. Obviously, he lost favor with Aaron Rodgers, but he's a experienced coach. Been to the playoffs.
He definitely has the experience. Yeah.
So he could definitely. Can he take Cowboys to the next level? Well, he has a lot of pieces. So
I could definitely see the Cowboys being a Super Bowl contending team.
Well, There you have it. NFC East. I predict that the Cowboys are going to win the NFC East. I just said it. But
how far do you think they're going to go, though?
They're not going to go to the Super Bowl. I mean,
you don't think so?
Maybe. Gosh, I don't even know. I don't even know if they'll make it to the NFC Championship game. I think that's a tough climb.
Who's going to take it over them, though?
Well, it's either going to be the Saints, Tampa, or the Niners.
Oh, I forgot Tampa's in the NFC.
Tampa is a contender, man. Even though Tampa, don't have much running backs. Like, they do have running backs, but not like all-star caliber. But Tampa Bay is a force now with Gronk and Brady going there.
Do you want to know my opinion about Tampa?
What are your thoughts?
I think that they're gonna be good in a couple of years, but I think this year, first year at Brady and Gronk, I feel like it's gonna be like a year rebuilding type thing. Like, I think they'll go to the playoffs. I don't see them going to the Super Bowl though.
Brady only has 2 years left, to be honest. I don't think he has much time.
I don't think Brady's gonna really do much.
He has a tough conference. You got the Saints and you got the Panthers are in rebuilding stage right now, so I don't have to worry about them. It's just the Saints we got to worry about. But
he's gonna have to play the Saints twice a year.
That's tough. Yeah, they're a good team. They're a good team.
Oh yeah, the Saints are absolutely like Drew Brees. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, he's the man. But
he's like a son.
Oh no, yeah, he's definitely one of the greatest. So we'll see what happens with Tampa Bay, Dallas. NFC is pretty much stacked. AFC is all Kansas City, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Houston lost some players. Hopkins went to L.A.
Houston's not going to, yeah.
No. NFC East, I forgot. With Tampa, NFC side. Don't forget about Atlanta. Atlanta's also pretty stacked.
Atlanta, they were not very good last year.
But they have Gurley, so
they do have Todd
you got to
Gurley.
think about that.
But, like, if you really think the AFC back to the AFC, the Bills could give the Chiefs a shot for their money.
Maybe. Yeah.
Now, I know it's early, though, but who's your prediction for the Super Bowl?
Super Bowl, I'm thinking Kansas City for the AFC. NFC, gosh, I'm not going to pick the Niners. I'm not going to do that. It could be the Saints. I don't know why I say the Saints, but
you don't see your
Saints or Tampa Bay.
Your Florida Buccaneers going?
I can see them going. Tampa Bay will be my second choice, maybe first choice. Tampa Bay versus the Chiefs. That's a pretty good game.
I would say
that would be a good game. That would be Brady versus Mahomes again, which
that would be a rematch,
gunslinger type of game.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're going towards our end of the show. Chandler, what is the best way to reach you online?
They can find me at social media. My Instagram, Christa 2020. That's CHRISTA 2020. Or you guys can find me on Facebook at Chandler Christa.
What is your Twitter account again?
I do not have a Twitter.
Well, I do have one stored.
Oh, you do? Oh.
Handle FC. Chandle FC.
Handle?
Yes.
I do not remember that one.
Well, it's stored here like on the Sportscast. So if you want to reach him on Twitter, I think he still checks it or gets an email notification if he doesn't check it.
Oh, yeah, I guess they can reach me. Yeah.
And, of course, you can reach us at thesportscast.net, thesportscast.net, or on Twitter at thesportscast. Is this
going to be online at all anyway?
This is right now on Periscope and on YouTube. And also,
don't you post them on Facebook when you're done with them?
It's on my profile personally, and you could also go to thesportscast.net. It's also posted on there on a podcast format. So you can listen to it.
Oh, but it's on like your personal Facebook? Right?
Yeah, because our Facebook page got brought down for some reason. We don't know why Facebook took it down. So we're just gonna have to live without it for now. But we'll see what we can do with Facebook. Anyways, thesportscast.net or at the Sportscast1. Chandler, any closing words?
Just everyone pray for the NFL season and pray for all the seniors out there that going through this tough time in graduation.
And random question: what is your favorite Star Wars movie?
This is gonna be a plot twist. I've never actually watched Star Wars.
It's okay. It's okay. I know at your age, I don't expect you to.
What was yours?
Mine, I liked The Return of the Jedi or the New Hope. Hey, New Hope that came out back in 1977. The original was my favorite. Rogue One, though, is a close second.
Random question for you: have you ever had any like professional athletes on your show?
Professional athletes. Gosh, I don't think we had. No, we have not. We had some college players, but no professional athletes. We've had sportscasters. What was that?
Anyone that's got like drafted?
No, we have not got. And it's which is actually an interesting question you asked because players are hard to get a interview. I don't know what it is. Like we've tried, but maybe we haven't tried hard enough. So.
Yeah, maybe you can get Tom Brady on your show.
If I did, I would thank you so much about it. I mean, I would definitely, yeah. We'll definitely put I mean, I would give us huge ratings.
Oh, yeah. Oh, if Tom Brady was on your show? Whew.
We'll be going somewhere in life.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'll see you later, Chandler.